I love this course. It has to grow on you a little bit. I think at first it can frustrate the absolute heck out of you, but I think that's what I like about it.
Hey guys, Johnny Disc Golf here. The 2019 Ledgestone Insurance Open. I am standing here with Discraft's own Mr. Brian Earhart. How you doing, buddy?
I am amazing.
Good, and you better be amazing because you are going to be on commentary all weekend long on Central Coast Disc Golf. How'd that come about, and how you feeling about it?
I kind of feel great about it. I really enjoyed doing commentary with Joe Mez earlier this season. Felt like the feedback was pretty good, and I think Ian probably just listened to me a little bit and sent me a message asking me if I wanted to do it. And I'm kind of a big fan of dipping my toes in different directions in this sport, and kind of a no-brainer for me. I'm kind of excited for it.
Cool, man. I'm super glad, to see you on commentary. I've mentioned this in our last interview, but I loved your appearance on Joe Mez. I think it really professional, really clean. So stoked for this weekend. Speaking of this weekend, as we got a few guys hanging around over there, Ledgestone is down from 4 rounds to 3 rounds this year. How do you feel about that change overall? Go from 4 to 3.
Honestly, there's so many strokes out here on this course, and the scoring spread is so good that 3 rounds is still going to show you who the best player is this weekend. So if it was an easier course with less strokes and kind of a lower SSA, I think it'd be a little tougher to determine a champion, but here it's no problem.
Yeah, and maybe if the conditions were calmer, it would be tougher to figure out a condition, but I think with the amount of wind and rain, we might see some separation early. How are you feeling about yourself? There's a lot of water out here, a lot of OB. How are you feeling about that wind and rain for the weekend?
For me, shameless plug to Discraft. I think they have one of the best wind fighting lineups in the game. So for me, last time I talked to you was at San Francisco, and you asked kind of a similar question, and I never worry about the rain or wind, really. I have zones and Nuco S's and machetes and all sorts of discs that can handle this wind. And really, it's course management out here. It's trying to put it in play and get yourself some sort of angle for the next shot, and then you kind of strategize from there. So I'm not too worried about it. I'm actually kind of excited about it.
Cool.
But it's really no different than most weekends we've had on tour this year. It's either we've been having tons of rain and cold weather or 40-mile-an-hour winds. So it's no different than what we've been used to. So
you ain't wrong there. And I like what you said. It's about finding yourself inbounds, like knowing your angle, not letting it skip OB. I think the course sets itself up really well for righty backhand, but our champion last year, Nate Sexton, does play a lot of that left to right finishing. How do you feel like hole 1, righty backhand plays into the hill? Hole 13 behind us, plays the righty backhand hyzer, plays into the hill. Do you feel like your game is hindered by that, or do you feel just as comfortable as any other course?
It's one of those things where, for a righty, especially on hole 1 out here, the optimal play is going to be a left to right drifting shot that flexes back and bounds, and it gives them a lot easier of an upshot. But again, I should be able to get up and down from 250 feet. Absolutely. And it's the difference, really, the tee shot on 1 and the tee shot on 13, it's really the difference of 100 feet or so. So from a mid-range to a putter, or from a driver to a mid-range. So some shots are a little tougher for me, but I think I get to play a safer shot on some of those holes. I just get to crash a hyzer in bounds, and then maybe my second shot's tougher, but it's still a shot that if I execute it well, it should be the same as the righty. So,
being part of Discraft, is this event, special in any way for you? Do you have like a brand activation at all being part of the team, or is it just another event and you just happen to be sponsored by Discraft?
This event's actually special to me for multiple reasons. I actually went to school at Illinois State, which is about 30 minutes away from here. So I actually spent a lot of time in this area previously. So I know Nate. I know a lot of the volunteers out here. I know Johnny Harrison with Plastic Addicts is one of the guys that gave me one of my first jobs outside of college. So my heart is here, definitely. And also, Discraft, it's like a family reunion. We have the CEO, we have Bob Julio, we have all the Discraft players out here. So and just Illinois in general is Discraft country, so it feels nice to come back home where I'm from and see all the people that I love and haven't seen in a while.
So is that the Fighting Illini, or is that University of Illinois?
That's University
Please
of Illinois.
Don't mind my, What are we working with? What's the alma mater?
We're the Redbirds, Illinois State Redbirds. U of I is actually 50 minutes away from here, I think, so still close, but we're not going to talk about them. So.
No, that's fair. Yeah. Worlds is coming up in about, 5 weeks, 6 weeks almost, and it's going to be right back here in Illinois. Yep. Does that change this tournament for you, being a preview or a warm-up for Worlds at all?
I think really for me, I'm excited about Worlds because Northwoods was one of my home courses when I was going to school here. So I know the front nine really well. The new holes that they designed out at Northwoods, I got to see as they were cutting them out. So I know them decently, but when I come out here to practice, that's going to be the course I practice the most at. You know, Ledgestone, you know, the course that we play here, Lake Eureka, doesn't change much. Yeah. You know, we made one change, actually made the bridge hole easier this year. So most of my practice isn't even going to be on this course. So sure. Obviously, naturally, it's going to be practice for Worlds, but I think the champion's going to come from who shoots well at Northwoods Golden. That's a course that the last preview tournament they played, I think the scratch scoring average was like 2 up.
Really?
Something like that, yeah.
Wow.
So that's a place where I think most of the players need to get their practice in.
Yeah. This tournament used to have Northwoods. The first time I came out here, Northwoods for a couple rounds, then over to here. How do you feel about Ledgestone making the shift all the way over here? I know that's maybe a year-old news, but do you like that? Do you not like it?
I love it.
Ooh.
So it's one of those courses, obviously, some parts of it, and I know Nate Heinel doesn't like this, but it's ugly. You know, you're throwing a shot, and if you go out of bounds on certain holes, you're walking onto a Little League baseball field to go get your disc, and it's kind of humiliating. But the way he's designed this course definitely has a learning curve to it. And if you're a newer pro or you're someone who's not used to tour-style golf, it's going to be challenging for you to shape a high-level shot and also keep it in bounds with ropes everywhere. So I love this course. It has to grow on you a little bit. I think at first it can frustrate the absolute heck out of you, but I think that's what I like about it.
Yeah, and I think in years past, I'm thinking a few years ago now with the stroke and distance, I think that's where it kind of got that rap of a really punishing, and people weren't a fan of that ruling. But since it's made it shift, you know, there's 12, 13 awesome holes out here. Like you said, you know, the swing set off to our left in the middle of the fairway isn't ideal, but it doesn't take away from the shape of the shot and the beauty of the golf here. Do you feel the same?
Yeah, I think it has this weird magical effect to it. It's like it doesn't exist, and then here's this giant tournament out of nowhere, and then people are flocking to Eureka, Illinois. So I think, for what it's worth, I think there's something really special about it, for sure.
Yeah, hole 17. Last year, there was a car on the line for an ace. I feel like disc golf is moving more towards that. At San Francisco Open, we had a $10,000 ace bounty kind of at the end there. As we go forward, are those the type of things that are really going to push us, like big pot prizes, big, you know, a free car, like Next Gen's doing a free car to the winner type of deal? Is that something that you feel like is that next push towards legitimacy?
In disc golf, I don't necessarily know. Maybe if somebody hits one of those shots on camera and it goes viral. But again, these types of big pots and whatnot are still only accessible visibility-wise to the disc golf community. I think it's great, and I think it's going to make tournaments bigger, but I don't think people are going to flock to a tournament because there's a car up for grabs. I think the touring players are going to come here for visibility because of the media outlets. I think they're going to come here for obviously the prize money is somewhat important nowadays for the players, just as spending money. But yeah, I don't know. I think it's great. I think it's a lot of fun, but I think the only real big way that it would take us forward is if one of those huge shots, like if Anthony Barella's ace at San Francisco was for the $10,000, yeah, that would be pretty sweet.
Yeah, I'm glad that you said the purse is a big thing out here. It is widely regarded as the biggest purse in disc golf, but that doesn't mean that the winner takes home the most in disc golf. It pays out so deep. I know in years past, top 25 have made 1,000 plus. Is that something, you know, you're not one of those guys that's like in the 1050 range that like they go to a tournament they think win every single time. How does that deep payout affect you, you know, totally competent touring professional?
Yeah.
How does that change your opinion of this tournament, or does it?
Well, I definitely like flattened payouts, especially at this point in our sport. We want to give a lot of people, especially those who don't have big sponsorship deals, at least give them some incentive to come out here and test it out on tour. But really, I'm not too worried about it. When I come out to a tournament, I'm out here trying to win as well. But to me, if you're a sponsored professional player and you're only coming out to these tournaments and your livelihood only depends on prize money, you're not necessarily doing it the right way. I think to make it in this sport, you have to really dip your toes in a lot of different places and try to sign a bigger sponsorship deal and really make it a give and take kind of thing with your company that you represent. It's like, how much value can you really bring back to them? Sure. And hopefully money will come from other places as well as you grow your personal brand and you grow, your relationship with your, manufacturer. Mm-hmm. So.
Speaking of manufacturer relationships, your tour partner for the beginning of the season, Paul Ulibarri, is now out for at least the remainder of this year, maybe even into next year. Does that affect your tour plans? I know you were in the rig with him. What's that look like for you now?
It was kind of a shock to me. I go into this season hoping to tour with somebody that I've respected for a very long time and someone whose work ethic has inspired me. And, it just seemed like kind of one thing after the next for him. And then, the ACL tear was kind of the cherry on top. I watched him, play a tournament with zero food in his stomach all week because he had food poisoning. It just kind of felt like he couldn't catch a break this year with a few things. So to be honest, as much as he's, back home and having to start from square one, it could be good for him to take a break. He's one of the biggest road warriors our sport's ever seen, and hopefully get that surgery and come back stronger than ever with some fire under his belly. Because he's obviously one of the best competitors that our game has, and he still definitely inspires me. And he gave me this platform to be able to do what I'm doing right now, and now I kind of have to take the lead and make some stuff happen for him. So that's
great, man. It's good to hear. You couldn't have put it in better hands than yourself. Is there anybody that are going to be joining you? Is anybody joining you on this road?
So right now, I don't know if I can say too much because we have 2 people picked out that I know very well that are hardworking people and obviously love discraft and love disc golf in general. So I think when I come back to from Europe, I think we'll have 3 people in the RV, hopefully running some fantastic events, getting the demo days going again. I had to cancel the ones that we scheduled previously, but it is what it is, and Discraft's not going anywhere, obviously. So we'll be back pushing the grip bags, pushing the Discraft, and making sure that the RV's going all over the place. So
great. Do you have any demo days lined up, or is it just all eyes on Europe right now?
Right now, it's eyes on Europe for me. I wanted to, we had so much going on, and then all of a sudden it stopped. So I wanted to take that opportunity to focus on being a player again, and obviously being an ambassador and representative for Discraft's great, but I'm also a competitor. So absolutely. I want to get to Europe. I want to reset. I want to play well at those tournaments, come back, and then I think we're going to try to run some in Nashville. I think I'm going to is our
Music City time.
Yeah. Right before Worlds, I think we're going to schedule one, but I'm not entirely sure yet. My brain's a little bit scattered just because of all the changes that have been happening recently.
Okay, well, take me inside Europe. You're going there. First time going to Europe?
For disc golf, yeah.
For disc golf, yeah. Sorry.
Yep. So I'm going to go to. Originally, I was going to go with Yuli, but I decided to just say screw it and book the ticket. And I don't really know where I'm staying yet, So if any of you people out there are going to be in Europe and want me to come stay at your place, I cook a mean omelet.
Okay, it's a tough sell there.
Yeah. But I'm going to go out there, and it sounds like the course for the European Open is pretty lefty friendly. So I'm going to get to throw some backhands out there and.
Beautiful.
Oh yeah, it's going to be nice, but I'm just beyond excited to experience their disc golf culture and how different and more professional it is than here from what I've heard.
What tournaments are you doing? You doing Toonie? You doing
Estonia? Okay. I'm doing Estonian Open, and then I'm playing the European Open, and I'm coming back.
Great.
So.
Well, I know you got a lot of things to do. You got a clinic over at Sunsets, whatever direction that is, at 3 o'clock. Yeah, up here somewhere. Is there anything you want to say to the fans? Anybody, back home in northern Illinois, I believe, is north of here, Illinois. Anything you want to say to the fans back home?
Illinois disc golf has been so good to me, and the support I've gotten from anyone in that community has been phenomenal. More importantly, Sean Callahan at Delwood Disc Golf, he runs one of the best pro shops that I've ever seen in my life, and he also has been a amazing sponsor for me and has, been emotional support, financial support, anything I can think of, he's there. And so shouts out to you, Sean, you're the man, and Delwood Disc Golf. Go check out that course, the canyons at Delwood Park, check out his pro shop. And really, anyone in Illinois that's been following me this year, I really appreciate it, and I'm hoping that when I come back, I'll bring some more good stuff for you, discraft, teaching, all sorts of stuff. But yeah, that's all I have to say for now.
Well, that's good, man, and I love Delwood too. I can't recommend it enough. I live in San Francisco, Golden Gate Park, one of my favorite free courses, park courses. Mm-hmm. Delwood, though, is like legit awesome. 1B to my 1A, so I love it so much. I'm glad that you shouted him out. For all you people at home, if you'd like coverage of all things disc golf, make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel. I want to talk a little bit about sponsorship. So many of you already support me at patreon.com/johnnydiscgolf, and thank you so much. It's super appreciated. But I have a few spots available in upcoming tournaments for content sponsorship. If you or anyone you know might be interested in something like that, please shoot me an email at johnnydiscgolfmedia@gmail.com. Thanks.